All right, Southwest Florida, let's set the scene. The scene is a spectacular evening here at Calusa Sounds, downtown Fort Myers, the preeminent convention center, spanking brand new, the largest event here so far in history, put on by African American. That would be one, Attorney Joe North. Right next door is the Luminary Hotel, and to my right is the Caloosahatchee River. And these gentlemen right here are outstanding contributors to the community, and they get a chance right now, black men, to talk about a black man who has made a substantial contribution to the community. Who me? I'm Lee Pitts, and I just happen to have a TV show at this moment in time in history, and I'm happy to be able to bring it out to my good friend Joe North's 30th anniversary celebration. As the media sponsor and the master of ceremony, entrusted with such huge responsibility tonight. The band is playing, the people are mingling, the reception continues. We have the chief of the City of Fort Myers Fire Department right here, Tracy McMillion. We have one of the outstanding, you're not a AD anymore, what are you now?
I'm a Dean of Discipline at Success Academy.
We got a dean right here, William Hagan. We got the famed principal of one of the most successful high schools in the world.
The nation, in the world.
All right, the Dunbar High School principal, Carl Burnside. All these gentlemen have been on my show over the years. The focus right now is on Joe North. Tonight is his night, and we celebrate Joe North. Let's begin with the chief. Chief, just experiencing this tonight for celebration of your good friend Joe North, 30 years in business, a young African-American attorney. What went through your mind throughout this evening?
The main thing was just Joe's impact. You know, I've always known Joe to just be a great man, humble soul, sweethearted, great conversationalist, but I didn't realize how many lives he impacted, you know, because he's so humble, the way he carries himself. Like I said, even though he's on buses and everywhere, I just never really knew the impact to this magnitude that, you know, Joe North brings. And I just love him even more after seeing some of the words that were said about him tonight. It just allowed me to see just another picture of who he is and just be able to get another perspective of the depths of his impact and his heart for people. And I just, man, I feel special to be someone that knows him and to be around him. And I just, as I always do, just try to get more and more from him, learn from him. He's a great mentor, a great friend, and keep doing what you're doing, Joe. We love you.
Say something to Joe. Say something to Joe.
Joe, I love you, brother. You've always been there for me every time I needed you. I appreciate the kind words, always the smile, and that strong handshake you give. You're a great mentor. You're a great person for me to emulate and try to be like and try to grow as a young man. So I appreciate you, Joe. Keep doing yourself, man.
The only person that I've met in the 21st century that everybody likes, him and Anita Baker. But let's continue. Now let's go over here to the dean. We'll be back to you in a second, Chief. Dean, tell me, how long have you known Joe? And I think you go all the way back to your childhood, huh?
Oh yeah, Joe and I go all the way back to middle school. We graduated the same year, 1983, from high school together. We competed.
Really?
We competed in sports together through middle school, through high school. I've known him from the community. He's always been a great, outstanding guy, and I just followed him throughout the years. Joe has represented me when he first got his law firm started. I like in the first couple of years he represented me, and we won the settlement. So
one of the best lawyers in the world.
And one of the things about it with my case, I had opportunities to go to some larger lawyers, firms here in Southwest Florida. But I chose Joe because I believed in him. I knew him since childhood, and he did a great job representing me. And also he's throughout my educational career, he's been a sponsor, contributor to my church, also to my golf tournament at East Lee County for the athletic department, and he's always been there. He's just been a great guy, a great friend, a leader, a mentor, and he's a man of his word.
I know this is like otherworldly, this particular night, before I come to you, Carl, but could you see this in the future, way back when Joe was running around with you guys, running track and all of that?
Well, I did because he was such a cerebral guy. He was a guy who always had that charm. He had that smile. He was unflappable. and he was just always just cool and calm, and he was just always focused. And he was a people's person. He's always been a people's person, a great guy, and people just really could rally around, talk to, and I just knew he was going to do great things.
And I think all of you guys got to see me up on the stage, right? All of us young black men. And you got to hear my backstory with Joe. Y'all probably didn't even know how far we went back when we were in our early 20s, downtown getting mixed up, because you rarely saw black guys walking around downtown with pinstripe suits on. And all of y'all know I was a young banker at the time. Carl and I go back so far, and I knew that story because me and you and Joe shared it on TV. But it's still always great to hear it, man. You did a great job talking about that. But I want to get this on digital right now. You went up there and laid out how genuine Joe North is and how that name, the North Law Firm, got on the Dunbar High School Stadium. Tell us about that meeting when they was getting into naming rights.
Sure, and one of the things I stated tonight, I'm very humbled that Joe asked me to share with people, because everybody in that room, as you stated, loves Joe North.
Everybody loves Joe.
Yeah. And so for him to ask me to have a few words to say, it was a tremendous honor. But one of the things that happened when the district went into having the naming rights, I thought that there was no way that there would be someone willing to really get the naming rights of our stadium. The first day, within the 24 hours of the announcement coming out, Joe North stepped up and not only said he wanted to be part of the naming rights, but that the school he wanted to be part of that with was Dunbar High School.
That's a Dunbar High School, people, is located in the African-American community here in Fort Myers, and it's one of the Microsoft certified high school, one of the great high schools.
My community.
Yes, but still you will always have difficulty attracting investors and people to spend their time, treasure, and talent in that community. Continue, Principal Burnside.
So when they asked me about it, I said I could not think of one person that would be better, because Joe was a product of that Dunbar community.
Did not go to Dunbar.
Because Dunbar wasn't open at that time.
Okay.
And he lived actually less than a half a block away.
Right.
And growing up, while it was a middle school. And I couldn't think of anybody better, because as I said tonight, a lot of those who grew up, who became athletes, we recognize them as heroes, and I'm not knocking that. But someone like Joe North is a true Dunbar neighborhood hero, because he used athletics to initially get into college, but then he made a determination that he wanted to be an attorney. And not only be an attorney, he wanted to come back home in Fort Myers. And I can relate to that, because when I went to college, I only applied to come back home. And just like people like William Hagan, coming back here to make a difference, but Joe has been the rock star of how to do it. And he continues to give to the community.
Set that example. Before I move off of you, Principal, I want you to look into that camera and say something to Joe North and his lovely wife, Benita North.
Yeah, Joe and Benita, I want to tell you that on a professional level, I thank you for all that you have done for Dunbar High School and also throughout the community. And on a personal level, I value greatly your friendship and love you shown me, and just know that it is something that it will always resonate within my heart, that friendship that we have, and that I look continue until we leave this earth.
Joe, we know you don't like to be in the spotlight, bruh, but you're in the spotlight right now.
Amen.
William Hagan, my fraternity brother. Great man here of Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity. Great man here of Phi Beta Sigma fraternity. Phi Beta Sigma fraternity. Of course, I'm a member of Phi Beta Sigma fraternity. But when it comes to you, Joe North, all of us come together on one accord to show that love. Chief of the fire department now. Witnessing this, all of us kind of growing up together around here. When I'm up there and I'm doing what I was doing, I was saying to myself, this signifies a new day and a new time and the progress of African Americans in this area. Talk to me about that progress that you can see by Joe having this event here.
It was amazing just to see, so many icons, legends, I'll say, folks that have paved the path that so many folks can look up to. Yourself, Mr. Burnside, Joe, his wife. I mean, so many folks who have played such an integral part of how young people can look up and see, hey, look, I can be this or I can be that, and they're just setting the pathway and setting the foundation. So just looking out there, man, I'm just seeing what the future is going to be. 30 years from now, who's going to grace the stage from their accomplishments that were all, bought up or made off of this day of Joe's accomplishment, your accomplishment, Lee, and so many others that have just
William Hagan,
this Burnside. I mean, just look how many lives are being touched on a daily basis. There could be so many people that, have played in Joe North Stadium that are going to go off to college and do some amazing things.
That's right.
And these are going to be things that support that Joe has given to these young folks, they're never going to forget. And it's just amazing to see. And I'm looking forward to the fruits of this labor that has been taking place here on tonight and over the last 30 years.
and for those of you who are watching us from outside this area, for me to get all three of these guys to sit down here and take this much time, these guys are constantly on the move. That is a testament to Joe North. Joe, I know you're looking at this. Joe is a very spiritual man.
Yes, he is.
He walks like Christ in a sense. Just got time for everybody. He's my role model. Talk about him as a person and just the calmness in which he moves around in the community and the spirituality that exists within him.
Well, Joe is a man that's connected to the community. He's connected with people, and he's always on the cusp of finding out programs that can help kids, can help a lot of groups of the masses of the people who might be less fortunate, or the people who are just not doing in the atmosphere to be able to prosper as on a higher level. And Joe sees that, and he makes himself available. His words are soothing. He it's like he's the keeper of the dream. Mm-hmm. And I think him and his lovely wife, they are always like joined together.
The senator of Dunbar.
Yeah, and it's just such an amazing thing just to know a man who walks the walk and talk the talk, and he believes. And I've never seen him to the point where he was rattled, upset.
Always
about
calm.
Always calm.
Carl, you and I and Joe have shared the stories on how Joe has talked about how you and him are texting each other early in the morning, late at night, come by there at Dunbar High School, see your car out there. He's doing the same thing with me, and he's just always out there trying to wheel and deal. If you guys thought you heard me say that this was the chief of the fire department, that's not a typo.
Right.
This African-American right here is the first chief African-American of the city of Fort Myers Fire Department. Progress, that's progress. Now, what do you hope that people will take from tonight's experience?
Well, I'll keep it brief. I just hope they appreciate the fact that someone can quietly, without looking for credit, make a difference and put others before themselves. And that's something that we all should try to emulate.
And then you talked about, you went up there and ripped the man jump shot.
Yeah, I mean that.
we know Carl had a nice little game too.
He was a good defender. Yeah. He was a good defender.
But you didn't race, Joe, did you? You set up the race.
Oh, I helped set up race. I didn't race.
Okay. Now you got this is of course a basketball phenom right here. Joe wasn't as great at the hoops as he was in the track and field, right?
Yeah, track and field, he was.
Joe was showing you love.
Speedster. He's a speedster, and
went on to the Citadel.
He had amazing speed, and in basketball, he loved the game, and he had. I said he had great defense.
Okay.
And
Joe, you got great defense. You can't shoot, bro. Go ahead. Nobody ever gave me credit for D.
Joe says he can shoot better today.
Yeah, he can shoot better today. But I tell you what, I just love how all the what I call a lot of the heavy hitters of Fort Myers, Southwest Florida, even in Dunbar, that came out and supported tonight. I saw Noel Devine there. I saw Javon Curse in the house.
I thought I saw Javon. That was Javon.
Curse was there. So many people in education, community, city of Fort Myers, Lee County. I seen the former mayor and the current mayor, and it's just a testament of just the lives that he's touched and just how amazing this man is. And sometimes I call colleagues like in Connecticut or in California, and sometimes another when they're talking about legal matters or something like that, and he said like, well, maybe I need to call your homeboy Joe North, because they know about him because he's world renowned.
Joe, you the man. You the man. Everybody likes Joe. Final comments from our illustrious chief of the fire department, Tracy McMillion.
Just like I said, Joe and Bonita, you guys are special people. Hope my wife and myself, we can be like you all. You know, we're looking at you guys, we're looking up to you guys. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep walking as humbly as you are. But whether you know it or not, there are several people watching you, growing from you, learning from you, and going to be blessed by you. Keep doing yourself, Joe. Appreciate you, brother.
I said it on the stage, and I'll say it now before I close out. Stay with me, Tracy, on this one. When I first started the television show about 30 years ago, of course, I'm African American, and now the show has become iconic in its own sense. But when you're African American starting something, and these gentlemen know, being the first African American to start a television show, way back then, it's difficult to attract sponsors. And Joe North, he had about 2 nickels he could rub together back then. 2 nickels. He came to me with his 2 nickels and said, Lee, I want to be a part of what you're trying to do. And we've been together ever since. And that is a testament to what type of person he is, to help a guy like me to have the opportunity to realize my full potential because of his help along the way. Thank you again, Joe North. So without further ado, remember, Miami has the oranges, but the North Law Firm got the
Juice.
Got the
Juice.
Got the
Juice.
The juice. We'll be right back. Hello, everybody. This is Lee. I'm so glad that you watched that particular show. And if you enjoyed that show, we got other shows like that. Just subscribe to our YouTube channel. Watch Lee Pitts Live on demand anytime. And also hit us up on all our social media platforms. Just type in Lee Pitts Live, and there you go.